Happy St. Patrick's Day across the board, and away we go.
From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
The Federal Reserve speaks about your stimulus. And what does that mean about forced stimulus? That coming up shortly, the breaking news. But millions of Americans start to receive their $1,400 third stimulus check by direct deposit. More Americans and more viewers of this channel start to receive the direct deposit of the $14 stimulus check from various banks. I'll be going over each of the banks individually. Also be going over the Direct Express card, which apparently is underwritten by different banks in different parts of the country. Meantime, what could happen tomorrow if you don't receive the stimulus check by direct deposit today? No fret, because we got more hours under the belt for the stimulus check to land throughout the day. And what could happen tomorrow? Millions are expected to receive the stimulus check tomorrow. Elsewhere, breaking news across the board. As St. Patrick's Day rolls out and the White House has a message, I'll have that message for you as Chuck Schumer addresses the stimulus check. The Federal Reserve addresses stimulus. The CDC and Dr. Fauci addresses growing concerns about a third wave. The VP speaks with the head of Ireland. Meantime, Snap makes a major purchase. Ford has new progress across the board for working at home. And new statements are released from the Federal Reserve about what's going on with the third stimulus and fourth stimulus. I have those breaking details as well. So much happening from the West Coast to the East Coast. The $14 third stimulus check is landing, and I'll have all those details as noontime Home LA gets right underway, starting right now. It's a big day with exciting news across the board as millions of Americans start to receive that $1,400 third stimulus check. I'll go over which banks are now posting the amount, which banks aren't, which banks are confusing viewers, and why I have insight as to what could be happening if you have not yet seen that stimulus check. I have other places you haven't considered looking for, and I don't mean under the mattress or the green beer on the bar. How are you? It's Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm here. I'm wearing green. It doesn't look green. It looks white. I know. I try my best. It's a green shirt. And in summer of last year, one of the viewers once said, the day we get our second stimulus check, the Trump stimulus, can you wear green that day? And I said, okay. I forgot to do it in December. So today, ironically, the day in which you're supposed to wear green, you're also supposed to get green. And I don't mean green from envy, I mean green for stimulus checks. So thank you for joining me. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And if you have two beers, if you have a green beer in both hands, put them both down, hit subscribe with the left hand, and hit like with the right hand. I know you're double fisting the green beer. Just between you and I. We'll keep it a secret. Thank you for joining me on a special edition of Home LA on St. Patrick's Day. And no, I'm not going over how to make green beer today. But I am going over how to get your stimulus check. Millions of Americans are getting the $14 stimulus check. And who is that? I'll go over the details right now. Bank of America started posting the $14 stimulus check for viewers this channel before dawn. Chase started reporting it around 10 o'clock. Wells Fargo reported it around 10, 11 o'clock. These are all West Coast times. Banks that viewers have not seen posting are Comerica Bank and MetaBank. Direct Express cards are underwritten by no less than several banks, unbeknownst to me until I learned it from viewers of this channel. Some viewers have Direct Express cards from Wells Fargo. They've seen the deposits. Those have Direct Express cards from Comerica Bank have yet to see the deposits. Elsewhere, H&R Block's Emerald card, some viewers saw the deposits on Monday. Navy Federal, some saw it today, some saw it yesterday, some saw it over the weekend. Still pending are TurboTax consumers and also pending are U.S. bank consumers. I'll be going live again in the video right after this. That will be very interactive, in which we get down to the details item by item. But here's what you need to know. It's early. It's only 11:44 on the West Coast. It's only about 2:44 on the East Coast. There's still a long banking day still upon us, and they could still post the deposits throughout the day. No time to fret, no time to worry. In this recording, I'm going to go over when you should expect the direct deposit, when should you expect the debit, when should you expect it if you're on SSI and SSDI, when should you expect it if it's paper check, and what is different this time around than the prior times. All really great news. But first, let me cut to what the Federal Reserve did minutes ago. The Federal Reserve released the massively important Federal Reserve statements. And those FOMC notes were not anything to be worried about. I'll have more about those FOMC notes, but they were big because of forced stimulus. Remember, there's a big push for forced stimulus to be provided to you with reoccurring stimulus checks. The man you're looking at now is Jerome Powell, that's head of the Federal Reserve. And they just completed the FOMC meeting minutes ago. Let me just broadly tell you, I'll be covering that later in the video. But the good news, it signals the push for reoccurring stimulus checks until the end of this year. As you know, no less than 100 Democrats want stimulus checks of every month until the end of this year. If it sounds like a big amount, it's not. It's actually very much in line with the president's current spending habits. I'll have all those details coming up later in this video. What I want you to understand is that those Democrats want at least approximately $2,000 a month until the end of the pandemic, $6,000. But let's go back to your third stimulus check. When would that third stimulus check land in your bank account? Let me go over the details. First, if you are waiting for direct deposit, would you receive the direct deposit today or not? These are the people that would receive potentially the direct deposit today. Anyone that have received the first stimulus check by direct deposit, the second stimulus check by direct deposit, or are on Direct Express debit, which is a card from the federal government for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits, and receive monthly checks for their benefits. Now, here are the people that would not see it in those locations. People who are dependents. It's important to understand that you may think you're receiving it physically yourself as a direct deposit recipient. But if you are a dependent on someone else's tax return, it may not be with you today, but with that other person. More about that in a second. Another twist that we now see is that if you're a Direct Express card holder, it may not be on the Direct Express card, but the bank account linked to the card. I have all those details coming up in a second. Third, you may still be expecting the direct deposit, and it may come later today or it may come later tomorrow. Who is that? I have those details coming up as well. And finally, there's a new twist, which you're hearing for the first time on this channel. If you've been a long-time subscriber, you heard it in December, but you're hearing it today, that the stimulus may come next week on a different instrument. Who is that? Stay with me. I'll have those details shortly. This is a very big recording with a lot of details across the board. But let me tell you what happened minutes ago. The Federal Reserve had its big meeting, and during that big meeting, the Federal Reserve said that it is not, repeat, not raising interest rates until next year. Now, this is very huge, at least next year. During this pandemic, two stimuluses have occurred: the federal government stimulus and the Federal Reserve stimulus. The Federal Reserve stimulus is important for forced stimulus because if the Federal Reserve backs off of stimulus, then the federal government, namely Congress and the president, may back off of forced stimulus as well. The great news, the hugely, insanely great news, is the Federal Reserve released its FOMC meeting notes 5 minutes ago, and it said it's not backing off of anything. It had several items to choose, and those items could have been backing off of buying bonds, which is done since last year, not buying mortgages anymore, or raising interest rates. And the great news is it's not going to change anything right now. This is huge because forced stimulus is just a few weeks away. The bill is already being worked on. And now you have someone saying, don't back off on stimulus, stay full ahead. I'll have more about those FOMC meeting notes, and I'll actually deliver them to you live on air in a second. I'll also have details from Ireland and also a big surprise from Chuck Schumer and Dr. Fauci. But more, let's cut back to that direct deposit. The direct deposit of the $1,400 stimulus check may be in different locations. And for the first time ever, we're learning that today on this channel. Let me explain what's going on. If you are a person that has a lot of things going on in your livelihood, then you need to be on high alert of the stimulus check in more than one location. And I even mean more than one direct deposit location. What's going on? In one of the videos earlier today, one of our viewers and members, if you're not a member, consider becoming a member, Purple Hawk or Purple Calcino or Calcino VIP. The link is in the description at the top of the chat. His or her name is Rocco River. Indicated that Rocco River uses a Direct Express card, but also has that Direct Express card tied to Wells Fargo. Now, before I continue, let me pause for a second. This is important to understand because a lot of you have Direct Express cards through Comerica, not through Wells Fargo. So I'm referring to just his situation where the Direct Express cards are underwritten by Wells Fargo. Rocco River was looking for the deposit on the Direct Express card today. Did not post. And minutes ago on the video right before this indicated that Rocco River saw the direct deposit into the Wells Fargo account, not into the Direct Express card. So if you are a Direct Express card user with account linked or somewhere around that, or have an extra account that receives anything from the federal government, look in that extra account because it may be in that extra account. That's item number one. Number two, if you are a dependent on someone else's tax return, you should look in not only and let me make it even more complicated. Let's say you're a dependent on someone else's tax return and you're on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits. Look in both your benefits account and also call the person who you appear as a dependent on today. Why? Because I've had viewers have every single thing happen to them under second stimulus, and it's happening again today. Some viewers are told by the federal government that if you're a dependent, the stimulus check lands in the account of the person you appear as a dependent on. But already today, some viewers have actually gotten the stimulus check directly to them when they were expecting it to appear in the person's account that they are dependent on. That was number one. One viewer actually saw two stimulus checks. The same person got the stimulus check in two different locations. Third, if you are a payee or you have a payee, reach out to that person because that person may have your stimulus check. Finally, if you think you are receiving it by direct deposit, you receive the first stimulus check by direct deposit, you receive the second stimulus check by direct deposit. You always have had that direct deposit account. You just presume it's coming by direct deposit. Later in this video, I'm going to show you a surprise. It may be somewhere else. Where? Stay with me. I'll have those details and more. But boy, it is a big day. And the day started with a major purchase, and that purchase came from Snap. Snap, the popular social media platform, made a purchase, and that purchase heated up Wall Street. It's a purchase of a major Berlin analytics company, and that purchase will be leveraging technology and enterprises. Also making big financial news today was Ford. Ford announced that of its 86,000 global employees that have not yet returned to work, some may be allowed to work hybrid, meaning some at home and some remotely. Elsewhere, the Federal Reserve just released its FOMC notes. Those FOMC notes LALATE has obtained. And those FOMC notes are absolutely, categorically perfect for forced stimulus. This is what the FOMC notes on the screen say. Following a modernization in the pace of the recovery, indications of economic activity and employment have turned up recently, although the sectors may be adversely affected by the pandemic relief. Weak. Inflation continues to remain below 2%. That is what the FOMC notes said. Committee members now forecast that unemployment will fall to 4.5% from its current 6.2. Now remember, before the pandemic hit, unemployment was about 3%. That compares to an FOMC estimate of 5% in December. Not a big change, but it's good. Forecasts for subsequent 2 years are 4.2 and 3.7. Inflation will remain at 2.2. That is estimated to fall at 2% in 2022. What is the net result? This is hugely great news. Boy, I cannot be any more excited than this. Let me explain why this is huge. The unemployment and the inflation number are perfect. They're absolutely perfect for forced stimulus, because you did not want to see the Federal Reserve saying inflation is going to be, huge. You did not want the Federal Reserve to say unemployment is going to be incredibly low, because had they said that, there would have been a big concern about providing too much more stimulus in the next stimulus package. These FOMC notes are perfect for the Democrats. Why? A series of no less than 100 Democrats want reoccurring stimulus checks until the end of this year, presumably $2,000. And that would signal near less than $12,000 to $16,000 of unemployment benefits. Let me make something very clear to you. If this was 2020 and I told you $12,000 of unemployment $12,000 of stimulus checks, sorry, not unemployment, stimulus checks. If I told you $12,000 of stimulus checks, you would laugh at me. You would say that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. I got to tell you, since Friday, the White House has having meetings about paying $3,000 a year for 18 years to children, to anyone under the age of 18. And in a new video obtained by LALATE, the White House and also Chuck Schumer have been bragging about how so much money needs to go out and why we need the child tax credit, why we need to spend money, and we also have to have the earned income tax credit get paid as well. Here is a video released by Chuck Schumer in which he talks to the two Democrats from Georgia about why this money is so important to go out to this economy.
Doesn't get as much attention as the stimulus checks, but is every bit as important. Kids under 6 years old, we're talking about a $3,600 child tax credit. Kids over 6, a $3,000 child tax credit. This is going to have a huge impact to improve life for families who have been suffering economically, who have had to bear extraordinary child care costs. And then Georgia alone, Raphael, getting $4.5 billion for our public schools to safely reopen. Light is visible at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you. And
the message may be numbers, but the imagery is everything. This video, recorded by Chuck Schumer, posted to his YouTube account, says basically that money is being spent and the money is on its way. Chuck Schumer is among those that wants to continue spending because he believes that money needs to go directly to people. And that ultimately this could be the major push that you would want to see for forced stimulus. A lot of money, and a lot of money right away. The great news as you start the afternoon is that the White House now has the motive. And that motive is the FOMC notes, which now reveal that more money needs to be spent, and it needs to be spent right away. Coming up in a second, I'll be going over what the president says about your stimulus checks, and surprising news about where else that $1,400 stimulus check may be located. If it's not in the bank account today, I'll tell you another surprise location it could be. You're only going to hear this on this channel, and stay with me as Noontime LA continues right after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. It's a big day as millions of Americans receive their $14 stimulus check. But if you have not received yours, when would it arrive today? Would it arrive tomorrow? And also, could it arrive next week in a different way? Yes, I have all those details across the board. Thank you for joining me on a special St. Patrick's Day. How are you? Put down the green beer. It's too early. You know you're drinking that green beer. Thank you for joining me. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. And one of the viewers in the comments during the commercial break, it was either Melody or Melissa, said, "Wish my mother a happy birthday." So happy birthday. How are you? Luck of the Irish, and happy lucky birthday for you as well. There's a lot of great comments. Let me look over into the chat right now and see what some of the people are saying. I knew I should have gotten rid of Direct Express, says Ari. Well, no, it's too early. No paper checks until April. Untrue. Untrue, says Chris. I have all the details from the President of the United States in just a second. There's a question about Comerica Bank. There's Lisa. Lisa says Wells Fargo, SSDI, nothing. Well, the good news is some viewers are starting to see Wells, Chase, Navy Federal, Emerald Card, H&R Block, and Bank of America. And if you do bank with any of those places, stay a little bit of time. Tia says, I got 2 green beers. There's Tia with 2 green beers. Ashley says, my birthday's next Friday. There's Billy. Let's get another like going. Let me see some of the other questions across the board. If there's a holiday off, then we won't get it. Untrue. Let me go over all the details. And how are you? It's a great St. Patrick's Day. The $14 stimulus check is landing in bank accounts today, and so far it is posted to Bank America, Wells Fargo, Chase, Emerald Card for H&R Block, Navy Federal. It is also posted to Chime and Cash App. It is yet to post for viewers this channel for Comerica Bank and U.S. Bank, but that may change. It's early. Why am I saying that? This is how banks work. Banks post funds throughout the day. They don't all post them at 12:01 a.m. So one viewer said, I woke up in the middle of the night. I didn't see anything. Guess what? Actually, most banks don't post them till around 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And then they start to post them throughout the day. You got a full day. It's only 12 o'clock on the West Coast. At least on the West Coast, you got about 5, 8 more hours to see it potentially post today. That's item number 1. Item number 2, it may post tomorrow. What banks are doing is they are waiting for funds to clear from IRS. And some banks have decided that the funds cleared today, not yesterday. So you may still see bank accounts post the money tomorrow. Here's something else to understand, that you need to track all different methods of where the stimulus check may be in addition to your account. If you are a payee, check with a payee. If you're a dependent on someone's return, check with the person you're a dependent on. And here is what you're hearing for the first time on this channel today. Get ready for this news. The stimulus check may still appear by direct deposit the end of this week. It still may appear early next week. But there's another twist. In December 2020, when the second stimulus check landed, millions of viewers of this channel had direct deposit set up. They had received the first stimulus check by direct deposit. They presumed the second one was going to land by direct deposit as well. Guess what? It landed by paper check. Paper check? Why did it land by paper check? I'm waiting for direct deposit. IRS was asked that question. Their answer was, for some people, we just chose paper check. No explanation really to it. And so this is the message you're hearing for the first time from this channel, is that if you think it's coming by direct deposit, you got the first one by direct, you got the second one by direct, and presumably this one come by direct. The account still exists. Why would it not come by direct deposit? It may come by paper check. So when would it come by paper check? Here's the great news. Under the second stimulus check package, it came in 3 weeks after it became law. This stimulus check, even paper checks, will all land within 10 days of when it became law. The president gave that message yesterday. Within 10 days of it becoming law, it will land in your bank account. That means the end of next week. By the end of next week, even the paper checks, even the people wondering where their check is, will see a post as well. Here again is that message.
We're going to reach 2 goals in the next 10 days. 100 million shots in people's arms. 100 million shots. And 100 million checks of $1,400 or more in people's pockets within the next 10 days. We're on the way. Help is on the way.
Help is on the way, and that was clearly the message today, that the $1,400 stimulus check will land by direct deposit today or tomorrow or the end of this week. But if you don't see it by direct deposit, don't worry, because then it may come by paper check. It happened in the second stimulus. And what's important to understand is that over the next few days, watch the mail carefully. That mail may have a paper check you did not expect to see. More about that in a second. But here is one of the leaders of Ireland celebrating St. Patrick's Day with all of us in a wonderful meeting and chat with your vice president just in the last few hours. Here is their St. Patrick's Day message between the vice president and Ireland.
Céad míle fáilte to Ireland. Thank you.
Madam Vice President, would you like to say a few words to the fellows, the Frederick Douglass Fellows?
I will. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone gathered here. I'm looking at the screen to see all of the faces of our young leaders. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And Taoiseach, we spent the morning together talking about the challenges and the hope that we share, knowing what is possible when we are committed to democracy, when we are committed to fairness, to equality. And I really enjoyed our conversation this morning. And Taoiseach, I thank you for that. It was really an honor to meet with you today to discuss our friendship and the friendship of our two countries, our shared values, and our shared commitment to helping people worldwide reach their full potential. And I know it is in that spirit that Ireland's Department of Foreign Affairs is co-sponsoring this year's Frederick Douglass Global Fellows. On behalf of the United States, thank you. So
and there you are. It's a big day with a lot of exciting news. And one of the questions someone just dropped in the super chat is, what if I don't get the stimulus check today? What do I do? The answer is nothing. It's too early to be worried about a missing stimulus check. And that message was actually delivered not by me, but by the IRS. The IRS issued a stern warning just a few days ago that if you're missing a stimulus check, or you're worried about the $10,200, or you're worried about a child getting the $3,600, or the earned income tax credit, don't do anything just yet. This was the message from the IRS. Meantime, I forgot to lead with this one. There's a breaking news report about the IRS today as well. If you did not hear minutes ago, the IRS just issued a new statement minutes ago that for individual filees, your April 15th tax deadline has been pushed to May 15th. The IRS, just before I went live, announced that for personal tax returns only, your deadline of April 15th has been now moved to May 15th. This was an announcement given by the IRS just a few minutes ago. That official statement is posted on irs.gov as well. This is why you have to stay with me, because there's always something happening. Let me answer some of the great questions you have in the room as well. There's Kay Cohen's, nothing from MetaBank, and they're usually first. I've seen a lot of viewers today all asking about MetaBank, and I've yet to see anyone post from MetaBank. There's Jennifer saying H&R. There's Jennifer about H&R Block. She says, check your H&R Block accounts. Stimulus is being deposited, but you may need to go to your local office to get a new card. Thank you, Jennifer, for the great comment. I know that some people with Emerald Card have seen a post. SSI and SSI should have been paid first, says Kathy. Some viewers on SSI got their stimulus check from Chime on Friday. Thank you for your comment, Kathy. There is Shalia Harris. I checked about Direct Express card. If benefits come on that card, the stimulus check will come to your card. That's actually not what's happening, Shalia. We have Rocco River and other viewers who have reported that the stimulus check has been appearing on other places than the Direct Express card, even when you're a Direct Express card holder. It may appear on the Direct Express card, but look for other things besides that. Someone says the leprechaun took your stimulus check. There is Real Spill TV. I didn't get my first, second, or third stimulus check. If you did not get your first or second stimulus check, you're supposed to file a tax return and request it on line, I believe it's 30, on that 2020 tax return. There is Shelley on SSA with Wells, nothing yet. A lot of viewers have gotten from Wells, so give it a little bit of time. Thank you for your comment. Let's see who else has comments. There's Babette, nothing from Wells. Give it a little bit of time. Thank you for your comment, Babette. Let's see someone else. Another person, Randy, nothing from MetaBank. Well, there we go. We're getting some insight across the board. PayPal. Oh, good. There's another one. PayPal. Bank Corp. Nothing yet. Washington Financial. No checks yet. Thank you. That was from David, and the PayPal was from Mary. Tia says the deli has green bagels. My goodness. TurboTax. Holly asks about TurboTax. A lot of viewers have been asking about TurboTax, and I have yet to see a viewer get the stimulus check by TurboTax. So the good news across the board is that when you hear that other people who use the same instrument as you not getting it, don't worry. That is the message that I've been delivering to viewers across the board today. The only situation in which you may be of concern is not today. The issue of concern is when you see virtually everyone has gotten the stimulus check on the bank that you bank with, and you have not gotten it. Then you need to believe that it might be coming by paper check. Today is really the big day in which a lot are starting to appear and some are not starting to appear. You saw in that live chat that I have been reporting Bank America, Chase, Cash App, Chime, Navy Federal, and then in the same breath, I've had viewers say, haven't gotten it from that same bank. The good news is that when some say they have started to get it, that means you may be starting to get it. Also, we've heard people not getting it at all from MetaBank or Comerica. And finally, the big message I've been delivering across the board today is that the day is young. It still could post later today. It could still post tomorrow as well, and it could still post the day after. If it doesn't post by the early part of next week, it may be coming by paper check. This is the single most important message I got to deliver to you. Actually, one of two. First, this one. In the next few days, please, when you go to the mail, open it slowly. You may be getting the paper check or the stimulus check by debit card. The envelope, which I have offset to me, which I didn't bring in frame, it looks like spam mail. It looks like a very blank, indescript envelope. Do not be quick in throwing mail away because it's something from the grocery store. You may have the stimulus check in the mail. Be careful over the next 7 to 10 days in looking through the mail. Number two, if you did get the stimulus check, this is the message I'm delivering to my viewers, especially because I have a lot of advanced age viewers. If you get the stimulus check, do not withdraw it at an ATM machine. Go into the bank. This is what could happen by the end of today and tomorrow. $1,400 withdrawn at an ATM is 14 $100 bills. It's a very big target for pickpockets. They can see it a block away that you're withdrawing 14 $100 bills. Don't do it at an ATM. Rather, be safe and cautious and go into the local bank. Talk to the teller, ask them if there's any withdrawal fee. Generally, there's not, even if you don't bank at that bank. And tell them you want to withdraw it from the card or the instrument you have of the stimulus check. And then ask for lower bills, like $20 bills, with a white unmarked envelope. Put the envelope in your pocket and go straight home with the money. Don't go to the market. Don't go to the casino. Don't go to get some $12 beer or green beer. Be cautious, because today is a day in which pickpockets know people are getting $14 stimulus checks. Be cautious with your money. And right after this, I'm back with you with a live recording in which I'm going to jump more into the chat and go over the Direct Express card, the deposits, which banks are posting it, which aren't. We did this earlier today, but it's been several hours since then. There's going to be big updates across the board. So stay with me. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And join me as Noontime LA continues.